Hello and welcome to this week's video. It's Louise here from Busy Mum Homestead, and in busy mum fashion, I didn't get to record a video last week as I was feeling under the weather. So I am going to upload for you today some older videos that I shared to TikTok 3 years ago now, so in 2023. So there's lots there to be had, but if they're a bit disjointed, I just wanted to warn you as to why. So I've got some chicken hatching, a little bit of canning, and growing potatoes in a box. So there might be a couple of other things that I forgot about right now, but I hope you stay tuned for that. And next week we'll be back to my normal run of videos, and so yeah, hopefully you enjoy this little look into past me. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you. Bye. Do a quick video. We're on our way down to get some more preserving jars. I did some chicken stock over the last couple of days in the slow cooker, and I have some wide mouth jars at home, not very many, but I thought, no, I'm going to run down and grab some regular mouth ones just so that I can use, I think that'll be better for the chicken stock, and then I'll keep those wide mouth ones that I have for other things like fruit and veggies and stuff. So we're just literally running down just to get a few, enough to do it. And yeah, I've just been buying like 10 or 20 each week. We have some at the discount shop here, and while they might not be the best quality, I found that they've been really good, even like for water bathing. I just bought a few to try and they turned out really well. So we're going down, I've been buying some each week, and as I can afford it in pay, and I'll go and get some more now. God, no, I can't get it. Oscar.
Some of the Kit Kats just have Arabic on them.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Just pulled out of the canner. Okay, come with me while I do a potato experiment.
Okay, so I saw a while ago somewhere that a guy had planted potatoes in a cardboard box. Now, because we only really need them for one season, then it makes sense that they would last that long, and then it doesn't matter if they break down. I have some boxes free. I'm trying to do this as cheaply as I can, so I'm using what I have. Now I have some boxes here, and I've seen somewhere on a local page a lady grew some potatoes in a straw bale, which got me thinking. I had some old sugarcane mulch in the shed, so I'm going to do a few layers and see how we go. So here you will see that I have put in the straw sugarcane mulch as the first layer, and it's quite thick. I'll just put my gloves on. It's probably, what, I don't know, at least 5 centimeters, maybe up to 10 centimeters. Not very good estimates, sorry, but it's quite a bit there. So I'll just go grab the soil. Okay, so in the shed I already had some tomato and vegetable growing mix, so I'm going to reuse that. Now I'm just going to place a fine layer on top of the straw. Now I've just folded the box lids in because I figure that if I was to open them up, they would be a bit more exposed to the elements, and having them folded in, there would be a coating of some sort on the outside, so I'm hoping that that protects it a little bit more from the weather. Okay, now, so I've just placed 2 potatoes in there, as you can see, with the eye facing upwards. Now, I have never ever planted potatoes before, so this is a first for me. So I'm just going to cover them over. I've literally only got 4 potatoes. And they are seed potatoes. Sorry, I keep missing that there. Okay, oops. So I need to put a bit more in there. I was just flattening it out. Now, if I need to go and buy more soil later, that's fine. But for now, I'm just using what I've got. There we go. So I think what I'll do is I'll just place a small mulch layer on top for them to grow through, and I won't make that very thick. Just sort of layer that out, and then hopefully I'll start to see little shoots popping through very shortly. I'll give them a water and I'll put them in the spot where I want them to be. I've got another box here to do. As you can see, it's a plain empty box. And yeah, and catch up with me later to see how we go and the progress. So thanks for joining me, and I will keep updating this as they grow over the next 10 to 12 weeks. And for quick reference, here are the other 2 that I've placed in the other box. So yeah, as they grow, obviously I'll keep adding the layers and keep adding up around the plants as they grow, and hopefully we should get a lot of potatoes. This is my first time. I have no idea what to expect. So, okay, so this is them in position. I'll give them a quick water and we will see how they go. Now this is a warm, sunny spot. Hopefully not too warm. But yeah, I actually rent and I don't own my own place, so having solutions that are cost effective and transportable and movable if I need, easy to pack away and don't leave much of a trace, is exactly what I need. So we'll see how this goes. I'm interested to see if it does last the whole season, and I'm actually looking forward to having the rotted down cardboard mulch and soil, because I think that'll be awesome compost for anything else that I want to grow later on. Anyway, signing off for now. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so I've come up to do a update on my potato experiment. So let's have a look how they're going. So they actually seem to be growing quite well. The box lid has sort of, oh sorry, I keep forgetting about that. The box lid has sort of come out, but I'm hoping that with some more soil in it, that will hold. So you're supposed to keep putting soil up apparently. So I'm going to add some soil. There's not a lot of room, but I'm going to add some soil to sort of the base of the plants. Let's see how I go. Okay, so I've added in some soil, not quite so much in this one as the other one. I kind of filled that to the very top. This one broke a side, so whoopsie, not going so great to start with. Anyway, I used a whole bag of potting mix then on both of them, well, one between the two. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that'll stick together. I'm quite rough with things, so I may have done too much on that one. We'll soon find out, I guess. Anyway, I'll leave you with it, but that's part 2 of the potato experiment. Okay, so it's time for another potato update. So these are my 2 potatoes that I did in the boxes. I should have actually added some soil to them today, but as you can see, that one's down a bit. But I didn't quite get around to it today. Maybe that's a job for tomorrow. Now they're growing quite well and I'm really happy with them. But I did realise that 2 boxes of potatoes will probably only do us for, a couple of weeks potentially. So I decided to add another couple of bags, even though it's quite late in the season, to be putting them in, just to hopefully give me a few extra potatoes. So I went and bought an actual potato grow bag. You can see the flap on the front. Now, I will say this is a pain trying to put the soil in it. The top kept collapsing, and trying to water it was also a pain in the butt because it would just fall in like that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure when they grow at the top it'll be fine, but for now it's a bit annoying. And then I just got one of these cheap buckets, and I drilled some holes in the bottom, and I've put another 2 potatoes in this one. One was from my cupboard and the extra one was in the lot that I got with this. So that's got 2, that's got 4 in there. So 2, 4, 6, 8 potatoes, seeds growing. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we'll have lots and lots of potatoes, which will be very exciting. So I'm very happy with the potatoes in the boxes. They're doing really well. So that's an update for now. I thought I'd bring you over here and show you what I did last weekend. I planted out, or was it the weekend before, some pumpkin seeds that I'd grown in this into pots. They're not doing really well. They're looking quite sick. So I'm not sure if it's the soil or what it is. Hopefully they get better because I really want some pumpkins this year. I've never grown them before. I've got a lot of seeds, so I've got some growing in these little punnets that I'm reusing, and I bought some of these little black pots. So I've got beans, batoli beans, zucchini, tomatoes. I'm even trying some watermelon in there, cucumbers. These are some beans that are doing well. I actually need to repot them into something bigger. And I've got a few tomato seedlings that I also started growing in one of those punnets. But again, they're not really taking off since I've planted them, which is a bit disappointing. So eggplant, and I've got some carrots in there, although carrots should be direct sowed. I've got some jalapenos and batoli beans, beetroot, zucchini, capsicum, eggplant, did I say that? Lots of different types of tomatoes. So hopefully I'll have a good garden growing this year. I haven't really put in much over the last couple of years in this house because everything has to be in pots at this one. There's no beds. So, and because I'm renting, obviously I can't make beds. So yeah, fingers crossed this year I get a bit more happening. Now, those ones were covered in soil, but the soil's gone down. I really should add some more. Anyway, I'll leave you with that little update. Okay, so here's my incubator. So I borrowed this from work, so I'm going to take it back once I'm done. But I've got 5 of the eggs in here because I didn't think the chook would be able to hatch all 10 of them. 2 broke, unfortunately, because I got them posted to me, and 2 were smashed open, which is not very good. But I still have 10, and I'll lift the lid off. Hang on. Okay, so there's 5 eggs in here, and I love the green one. I can't wait to see what type of chicken that is. They're all a little bit mixed. I didn't care what he gave me, so there's 5 little things in the tray here. And that's the equipment that sort of heats it up and stuff. Now, it's supposed to move itself, but it doesn't. So every few hours, I'm meant to be just moving the trays over. Hang on. Oh, I'm trying to do this on camera. It's a bit stuck. Hang on. Okay, so I took the lid off altogether, and then I just move it so that they rotate the eggs. Yeah, you're not meant to have the lid off for very long. So anyway, my rotator is not working for some reason on this thing. But the other night I did what was called candling the egg, and it's where you take a torchlight and you put it underneath and see whether you can see the veins in the eggs. And I did that the other night, and I had 5 veins in the eggs, so they're all growing baby chickens. So that's very exciting. Hopefully they keep growing and hatch, but we'll have to wait and see, because, pardon me, not all of them survive quite that long. So I'll take you outside now and we'll go see my chicken. Okay, so this is my chicken coop, and it's falling apart. They are a lot of money and they don't last very long. I've got a screw. The screws have fallen out. So my chickie's in here. I'll take off the lid. Hey, chickie. And here she is. She's a silky, and she's a brown silky. Hello, chickie. Can you hear it clucking? Chickie. Hey, chickie. Chickie. And she's sitting on 5 of the eggs that I got. And I'll lift her up in a minute and see if we can see them underneath. Chickie. Oh, sorry, girl. Oh, yes. And there's 4. Oops, I'll let her down. She wants to go back. Hey, Chucky. She's moving herself over them. Just push that one in. Come on, over the top. Hang on a second. Okay, so I just put it on all of them again, and I'll leave her with it and I'll close it up. So there you go. There's my chickies and my eggs. And here's my cat. He's come up to investigate with me. No, hey Smokey. Okay, so I came home from work today and
this one is a baby chicken pecking through the shell. It's just stopped moving, but I don't know if you could see that little tiny bit moving. And then over here, this one is taking its sweet time. It's got a bit more of a crack on it today, so it looks like it's coming through, but it's stopped. And then up the back is also a cracked one. So I should definitely have 3 chickens soon. These two, I can't see anything on them yet, but apparently that's okay. Oops. They do take different times. Oh my god, so exciting. Okay, so I have 2 baby chicks that hatched overnight. They've been in the incubator all day. But I have a hen, a silky hen, and she's had 4 eggs under her, and I just went and checked and there's a little baby hatched. Now, the other 3 eggs that were in the incubator here, one pipped actually 2 days ago, and since then there's been nothing happening, and I was really debating whether to try and help it or whether not. Anyway, I have left it because everything I read said not to, and if you do, they'll probably have issues anyway. So it was really hard choice, but I decided to leave it. These other 2 eggs, I have not seen pip or move or do anything. And this one's laying down with its head, and I don't know if that's normal or if it's something wrong with it. So if anyone knows, let me know. But it's really weird. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these 2 chicks and I'm going to put them under the hen in the hutch, just because I don't think they're doing very well in here. And the other 3 eggs seem to really not be doing anything, and so I think it's okay to risk it, because they really haven't done anything, and I don't think they're going to. So this one does not look well, and I think the best chance for its survival is really going to be under the mother hen. So wish me luck, but I'm going to try and quickly take these out and go and put them under the hen. Okay, so I've just put some baby size water and food, chick starter stuff in there for them, and I've locked up that so they can't go down the ramp and hurt themselves. I'll just shut that up. So my plan is, I don't know really, leave them in here for a few days and just see. And she's taken them under her, which is awesome. Good mama, good chickie. Don't know if you can see the little baby one. I'm going to leave them be now. Good mama. And now she's got some food in there and some water. So anyway, she's got some food and some water now. The mother chick, so she can have some, and the baby chicks will have access now to the food and water as soon as they're ready to have it. As I said, they've been hatched for not quite 24 hours. They hatched in the middle of last night, so it's about 6:30 p.m. now. But I do just think they'll do so much better in there with mama hen, a silky hen that I've got, rather than in the incubator struggling to stand and walk and all those things, and they just look like they weren't doing well in there. So we'll see how they go under the mum hen. And yeah, I have the 3 eggs in the incubator that really don't look like they're doing anything, and there's one baby chick that hatched under mum hen today,
and there's another 3 eggs under her as well. So we'll see if we get any more, but so far I've got 3 baby chicks, which is awesome. I did get sent a dozen, 2 completely broke in transit, like completely smashed open, and covered the others in egg yolk and all this stuff, and I really didn't know if I would get any hatch. So to have 3 already is really good. So let's fingers crossed for some more, and we'll see how we go. I'll keep you updated.
Okay, it's Louise from the future again. I'm just jumping back in. I just wanted to add a quick video and say I know that chicken video was an absolute disaster. And what I did, looking back now, I can see so many mistakes that I made. And I just want to say, like, that was my first time trying to raise chickens and hatch them. So I made so many mistakes, and I so wear all of that and the responsibility of that. So I just wanted to add that in. I then went on to hatch another year. Sorry, my son in the background is playing online with his friends. So, I just went in to another year and I hatched, I think it was 8 or 9 chickens successfully, and we actually raised them. Unfortunately, one passed away, I think, of like a heart attack outside. We took it outside and it just keeled over. And then we had 7 left, and they all, except for one, turned out to be roosters. So I then had them taken somewhere else to another home, rehome them. So because I couldn't have them in town, obviously. So that was kind of then my end of raising chickens from home in town in a rental property, because one, I probably shouldn't be doing it anyway. So I've kind of let my chickens go. And I had a few, and one passed away and things like that, but I've still got one left. And I really should have got another friend for her, but I didn't because I want to move and I don't know what to do with her. And she's kind of bonded to us and the cat, so it's kind of okay. We give her hugs and pats, and she's kind of surviving all right by herself. So that's been okay. And she's the original Silky that was in that video, so she's still going strong. But being a Silky, she's probably not got a lot of life left in her, because I'm pretty sure they only last for 7 or 8 years, and she would be, it's 2026, should be 5 years old. So she's still maybe got another couple of years with us. I would like to get her more friends, obviously, and I would love to get more chickens. But I think the responsible thing to do right now is, and what I should have probably always done, was wait until I get my own property. But, I got over enthusiastic, and a friend, a co-worker, bred and raised chickens and Silkies, and that's where I got the original one from. Yeah, she gave me some chickens, baby chicks back then to raise, because she knew how much I wanted chickens and to have that in our backyard. I will say, if you are in town, that I highly recommend Silky chickens in town. They don't scratch up the ground as much and the garden beds and that as much, as they're a lot gentler on your lawn and things like that than the bigger chickens. And obviously, because they're much smaller, you don't notice their poop around the place as much as the bigger chickens. So if you're in town and in a backyard, I do recommend the Silkies. The only problem with the Silkies is if anyone has had Silkies and knows, they go broody at the drop of a hat, and it's like they're more broody than they ever lay eggs, and you just start getting them to lay eggs and then they go broody again. It's crazy. So that is rather frustrating. So, but I do highly recommend them for in-town backyards, because they're small, they're compact, they don't make much damage. So, I recommend them for that. Anyway, my dream is hopefully one day very soon to be able to get my own property again, and I fully intend on having more chickens. And I just wanted to pop in and say, I know I did so many mistakes, and that was my first time, and I fully wear all the things that I did. But yeah, I look forward to the future and doing a bit more of that in my own place one day. With the potatoes, I don't think I did a follow-up video, or I did, I just couldn't find it. They all grew, but I think I got like 8 little potatoes from each pot. So it is a viable solution. If you're wanting something that will only last a season and you don't have a lot of money, you can absolutely grow them in a cardboard box. Looking back at that video, I also probably should have put way more soil into each layer and things like that. I expected the straw to sort of do better because someone had said they'd grown it in a straw bale, but no, it didn't really work. So I would absolutely do more soil next time. So anyway, hopefully that video has helped and entertained you a little bit going back in time. And I can definitely see myself looking back at those videos, how much I've grown and learned, and all of those plants as well, those seedlings. Oh my gosh, none of them grew. I totally stuffed that up. I had them sprouted inside on a window, and I totally took them out there and they all died. Which now, like, I know I should have hardened them off and things like that. So it's all on me. I completely stuffed that up. But the next year I went and bought those bigger coloured pots that you see and tried to do a lot more in the garden. So it didn't stop me. Everything is learning, and I've always grown in beds before and always just direct sowed, and I've always had a lot of success with that. So for me to try and grow in pots isn't as successful. There's definitely a knack to it that I don't seem to have. I am heavy-handed with things, and so yeah, I don't know whether that plays a role in it or not, but I think I do better in garden beds and direct sowing than I ever do transplanting anything. And my aim is, again, to own my own place and be able to have beds where I can do that, or a rental property where there is somewhere I can put a bed to grow vegetables. They do so much better. Growing them in as seeds inside and then trying to harden them off and things like that is a lot of work. So it can be done. I just don't think I have the specific patience to do that, to be honest. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. It was a bit of a blur of different things, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.